Okay, here we go. Works for the Irving paper. What's your name?
Arthur Taylor.
Andre Faust.
Looks like you're dressed up to be in the igloo.
This suit here will allow me to survive 2.5 hours.
2, 3, okay.
Two and a half hours in the Bay of Fundy, bopping around in 20-foot waves.
2.5 hours?
Yes, but I've never tested it.
Did you test it last night?
Yes. And still, Charles.
Okay, hold it. I'm at occupation Fredericton. And you've been involved with this for how long? How long has this been going on now?
I've been with Occupy. I've been with it since it started. With the.
How long has it been going?
What's that?
How long has it been going? October what?
October 15th.
15, yeah. 2.5 months.
But all the issues that's been discussed, we studied it 30 years ago. That part of it was nothing new, but that something affirmative was taking place. I had to be absorbed by it because it was something that I understood.
And you understood enough. Didn't understand enough last night. You spent an evening in there.
I'm a wuss, Charles. I'm a big friggin' pussy wussy.
And excuse me 1 second. And you've been there how many?
I've been camping here pretty much 2.5 months.
2.5 months, and look at you and look at it. Okay, continue.
It speaks for itself.
Continue. Okay.
I hate the friggin' bleeping cold. I dive with heavy clothes under, 3/4 inch neoprene suits. I drive boats in cold water. My dry suit has winter clothes into it. I hate the cold. And anyway, if you take a look, I brought down my generator. Because I was not, when I come into this, right, I said, ha, I'm going to get around this cold stuff because I don't like the cold. 2,000 watt heater. We've got another one in there, plus the kerosene. We got this puppy up to about...
Wasn't the kerosene enough?
Not for me.
Not for you, okay.
We got her up to about 14 degrees Celsius. And Arthur and I were there talking about Arthur being a philosopher.
We were sitting there with our shoes off and in our t-shirts and...
You're used to it. You're just, right? So these wimps show up here. These wannabe Woodstock era.
But at 14, it wasn't still within the lower end of my comfort zone. And I said, this is not going to be too bad. I can get through this here. I've done 14 degrees before. All of a sudden, Arthur says, if you really want to know the experience, let's shut the heat off. We shut the heat off.
How long it took?
It didn't take too long because this is not insulated. While there's heat in there, it'll hold it. But once you shut the heat off, it's like opening up the door. Almost instantly, this come on. Well, now, we shut the lights off and everything. It's kind of boring. Arthur proceeds into the tent. I get into my sleeping bag with this here, and I'm still,
You didn't go home to mama. You could have.
Yeah, at that point, I was thinking about that. My dog is sitting on the couch, on 22 degrees Celsius degrees. I'm here. Now, literally, there's no way I would have froze to death, but as the sensation was very, very uncomfortable. I fell asleep and I woke up. My work day starts at about 6:30, so I had to basically leave by
One question. Everything on that bell that goes on every hour.
I was too friggin' cold to even notice it, Charles. Anyway, when I woke up, Arthur was asleep. I was almost envious.
He's adjusted.
I'm a
rugged outdoorsman.
He's adjusted and adapted, and.
So it was quite an experience.
It was, and
gives you a different perspective on the homeless issue.
Well,
but they don't
totally. work. The homeless issue, I knew it theoretically. I knew it as black and white lettering of the books, not experiencing the conditions. Last night, I just had a sample, and even here, it's not representative to what an actual homeless would, because the sleeping gear we have is designed for extremely cold.
Listen, these homeless people, they're smart. They find a nice heating spot behind the generator somewhere, or They have their area there.
They have to be adaptive. For me, if I were to be homeless today, I would die.
Yeah, you would, especially when you smoke and all that.
I would die if I were to be homeless today because I do not have those survival skills in the place.
Yeah,
but
so true.
like this type of thing, I would never really entertain doing it again because I kind of now know the experience. However, I'm from the north side.
Oh yeah, you want to put on a little challenge maybe?
Brad Woodside is from the north side. We're about the same age. And even our lung conditions are about the same.
Yeah,
we're both smokers, and that we're not the epitome of health in that respect. Well, I'd say to Brad, not as the mayor, but just as one of the good old boys from the north side. And I'd say to Brad, I'll do this again in comparable weather if you join me. And it would be quite an appropriate way to kind of end all of this here, is because that would, obviously show that
everybody's in it together.
Everyone's into it together. We'd be making a collective statement, and what a way. But at the same time, if there's a health issue for Brad, that's how.
Oh, he's in poor health.
So, if that's the situation, then
I'd say he's in poor health. He's just in poor health the last couple of weeks.
I would redo this only under that thing, and come on, Brad, we're from the north side. Let's show Fredericton what us north siders can do. And chances are I'll go home to Mama and he'll stay here.
So if he comes here and stays here for a couple hours or whatever, and will you shut this thing out?
Well, what's your feelings on it, Arthur?
We've started our 10 days of Christmas presentation. We put out our first gift to the city today, series of 3 proposals. This one dealing with food security, and so we've got the ball rolling on our kind of on finalizing what we're doing here. And really, it's just a matter of getting this out there and getting some response from it, and then the idea being, once we've got a good level of participation in the community, then the whole symbolism of this and the actual occupation won't be necessary anymore. We'll be moving in the right direction.
And people have been busy the last couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. At this point, most of our participants are focusing on doing the research, writing up the proposals, finding ways to adapt the programs from these bigger cities all around the world to the circumstances of Fredericton, and so it's just at this point kind of getting all of the outreach and the groups and everything, all the programs set up, so that we can move on to our next phase.
Okay.
Well, before you close there, Charles, look at that. Do you remember? I mean, you're kind of getting up there. You're in your early 50s. Do you remember a television show called MASH?
Yeah.
Doesn't this look like one of those army hospital
in Korea
surgery or mobile? Kind of has that kind of look. We'll paint a big cross on it.
What they call it again? MASH 7022.
I forget what the MASH, I think, is acronym for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital.
If I see a homeless guy walking down the street, I'll tell him that you will give him your jacket there, your water jacket.
I raise my eyebrow.
Talk to you later.